All right, we're here live at the 3SPN studios. We got, of course, me. I'm one of your hosts, Dave Sarah. Along with us, of course, Gabe. Do I just call you Gabe? That made that. I don't know where Young Human got that sudden that fucking that thing from, but he really emphasizes it in the intro song there. Have you ever seen those guys that do like there's that one YouTube guy that does the synthesizer, and he's got like he does the one so basically he'll take like movie quotes and then put them into a song. So he took that I'm a dude dressed as a dude playing a dude or whatever, and he turned that into a whole song mix. Did you ever hear that?
I don't think I did.
It's pretty funny.
Do you have
it's a little anticlimactic?
But, yeah, I was hoping that would end with like, and here it is.
No, you haven't known me long enough to know that my stories don't lead to anything. I have the first story and then the second story, and then there's just no roof. It's just a roofless story. Anyway, good weekend in sports, huh?
It was a stellar weekend. It was a stellar sports weekend all across the board. Like everything was good.
A lot more PIs in football this week, huh?
Yes, that was definitely a reality.
That big one.
Less targeting in NCAA football though, so that's good.
I missed college football this week, so you'll have to catch me up on it.
Man, I missed a lot of Saturday as well.
Well, some shit happened. We'll just say that some shit went down.
I heard, man.
Yeah, I guess we can start there. Let's start with NCAA. Okay, so obviously, number 25. Clemson lost against fucking NC State, which every Clemson fan was afraid was going to happen.
Yeah, boy.
Because
you did say that.
School. I said that ahead of time. That's a school that like they're a legit school. They're one of those teams that like that it's just a smaller school. They'll never be able to recruit to the point that like even if they made it to a playoff, like Alabama would destroy. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be good, but like they'll keep up with a team in a game as long as like they don't get just like steamrolled on the line, right? Which again, obviously, you know, somebody like Alabama or Ohio State and some years Clemson would, and we've put 50 points up on them. You know what I'm saying? Like there have been some blowout games, but it's also a team that plays us really close a lot of times, and the way that Clemson's offense is just not been happening the whole fucking season. I knew it was a game we could possibly lose, and we fucking did. It was bad,
man.
They lost twice, really, because there was there was a field goal attempt at the end, and it was like a 30-yard. It was a very makeable field goal, and NC State just missed it, and that should have been the end of the game. And so it went to overtime, and they knew exactly what they were doing, giving Clemson the ball first, because it switches. You know how the overtime works in NCAA.
Oh
'Cause
yeah,
they just
each
fucking
play, each
changed it,
team
yeah.
gets a.
Yeah, but they do it so like at the coin toss, you get the ball first, and then I get the ball. But then second overtime, I get the ball, which means your defense plays back to back. And they knew that would give them the option to score and get a lead, and it would be much more like they played it well. But yeah, Clemson's offense is just non-fucking existent. DJ is not it. He's just not. I mean, maybe like a fucking favorite uncle died or some shit right for that. I don't know if something's just in his head, but he's making terrible decisions. He's making terrible throws. There were 7 3-and-outs in that game. Clemson went 3-and-out 7 times in that game.
You can't do
And
that.
of those 7, 4 of them on third down, DJ had a wide open receiver, and he was like, over your head. Why would I throw it to you? Nah, 10 feet over your head. It was terrible. It was absolutely awful. He had 2 good plays that were the touchdowns, but it was terrible. So anyway, Clemson's fucking done. They're done. Their season's over. And then Oklahoma
What about that
almost
coach, dog?
Dude, West by God almost fucking took it to him. There were some West Virginia fans at the gig that night. Man, getting rowdy.
that shouldn't have happened. But also, they haven't been good this season either. Their ranking is way too high given how close the games that they've played against teams they should have destroyed. So, they're somebody's gonna get them.
Man, it
almost
ended up,
West Virginia, but
it ended up being a lot. Ended up being a lot different in the score. But dude, for a minute there, I thought that Tennessee was gonna fucking hang with Florida.
they
For a
did
minute
the whole
there,
first
dude.
half.
I thought
And then
Tennessee was
Florida
gonna,
came out in the second half and was like, nah,
Yeah.
we're done with that. Yeah, we're done with that. Oh, Tennessee didn't score in the second half, did they? At
No.
all?
No, I was just looking at the
Yeah,
stats.
no.
And also,
14-17 going into the half, and then it was 14-38 at the end of the game. They just steamrolled them in that second half. That was crazy.
fucking dude, I can't believe A&M lost to Arkansas.
Yeah, I can. They fucking, who was it early in the season? Oh yeah, Colorado. They barely beat Colorado. A&M is not. They are way overranked. They're not good.
Well, not anymore.
Well, even 15. I don't know if I agree with even 15. I would put them closer to where Clemson is. Obviously they won that game against Colorado, which is the only reason they're ranked higher. But it was 10-7. Like they're not together. Oh, and also their coach is a bitch. I don't know if I had mentioned that, but Jimbo Fisher's a bitch. So
Jimbo is a bitch.
Jim's a big old bitch. So yeah, it was crazy.
Nancy
A
Pelosi's
lot of
big
upsets.
Fucking titties.
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah,
takes.
exactly.
Big fucking tits,
Big
dude.
fucking
Pelosi's got those
tits.
big mammers.
Tech beat North Carolina.
Auburn just got out of a embarrassment at Georgia State.
Ugh.
Just
Dude, that name makes me fuck.
makes your skin curl.
Ugh.
Skin curl? That's not a thing.
Ugh.
Crawl. That's what it is.
Yeah.
If it made your skin curl, that would be very upsetting.
It'll make your blood curdle.
That's what
it is, huh? Blood curdle.
Yeah.
It'll make your
Yeah.
blood curdle. But nah, it's business as usual for do we have to play these games, Southern Miss? I mean,
Yeah, it kind of feels like that, doesn't it?
Fresno State gets another win, 4-1.
Yeah.
Fresno State.
Alabama, Georgia.
They're pushing.
Yeah, business.
What is
as
Fresno
usual.
State ranked now?
Yes, 22 now.
And I don't know if that's now. I think that was week 4 rankings.
I think they were ranked 25th week 4. No, am I wrong about that? Maybe not.
I thought they were ranked 18 the last we
maybe.
talked.
Maybe.
Did they go down?
They're 18
Was it a-
now.
They
They're
lost,
ranked 18
Oh, they're
now.
18th now.
they lost by
Yeah.
18 points. And apparently they were losing at halftime against UNLV. And then they barely
came
won by
back.
8
That was a
points
good
and
game.
came back. I didn't even see it. So
game.
maybe that looked bad in the eyes of the rankers.
Yeah, that's not as good as the week before when they
Iowa wins again, a tough one against Colorado State.
Uh-huh.
Penn State beats Villanova, giving them their first loss. Villanova
was,
did not score in 2 quarters. Scored 3 points in 3 quarters.
I didn't think about it being, but there were upsets across the board in football this weekend because there were hella upsets in the NFL too.
Yeah, I'm mostly just looking
Yeah.
at the top 25. Yeah, we got the NC State over Clemson upset. Oh man,
Uh-huh.
Ohio State.
That Oklahoma's win, you might as well call an upset because that like WVU wasn't supposed to even be wasn't that like a 20-point fucking spread? I know the over under was like 45 or maybe 50. It was a but anyway, yeah, Oklahoma was supposed to blow them out in that game. They did not.
I guess one of the bigger, I wouldn't call it an upset, but I guess some people that had Notre Dame, that had Wisconsin beating Notre Dame, kind of opened people's eyes up to what Wisconsin really is, which is a zero offense.
Man,
Well,
now I can't stop thinking about that.
Notre
rivalry.
Dame had looked shaky this season. Like they barely got through Toledo. There were good reasons to doubt, not necessarily because Wisconsin was good, but there were reasons to doubt whether or not Notre Dame had it. But they fucking did.
Baylor. Wait a minute, am I looking at the wrong week?
They
here?
did great.
Yeah, you did in those pick'ems. You did do great.
Yeah, let's look at that.
All right.
Not well. I mean, obviously not.
So
Here we go.
You
Are
did-
we- are
you
we
did
done with,
too.
are we done with college?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, I think that's basically So the layout of college right now is basically it's Alabama or bust. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like that's
yeah,
what this
I
year
told
is.
my Georgia fan buddy the other day. I
Georgia,
was like,
yeah,
we're gonna- I was like,
Georgia's
man, we're
obviously.
that's the only game this year that I'm really interested in is the game when Alabama plays Georgia. And he says, well, we ain't scheduled. I said, I know that.
Okay,
Like,
so let's give our
but all
early
roads
top
lead
first.
here.
Yeah,
Are they,
we know
are they
that's where it's
accepting
going.
8 this year or only 4?
No, they're still doing 4, but they I think next season is the bump up.
Okay, so
I think it was initially they were talking about 12, but I think they dropped it back down to 8.
all right, let's put in our top 4 right now. Then, what are we going? Alabama,
Like at end of the season based on right now,
yeah, Alabama,
Oregon,
Georgia number 2, or Oregon number 2.
probably
Georgia,
Georgia number 2. I don't know
Alabama,
that
Georgia,
Oregon's
I
got
think-
strength of schedule to jump them.
God, Georgia's
Dude, I think
fucking
Alabama,
looking amazing.
Georgia, Oregon, and fuck, man.
Penn State,
Maybe.
Penn State's probably
Maybe Penn State.
because
Or they might try
if
to
they
put
win
Ohio
out-
State in there.
no, Ohio State's done. But Penn State, if they beat Ohio State and Michigan, because I think they play both this season, then they're fucking in. And they would jump Oregon at least, so they would probably be third. But they might even put them above Georgia if they beat both Michigan and Ohio State. That's 2 really, really solid wins on their schedule. And obviously, the win against Clemson is worth a little less to Georgia now that fucking
This is a true story.
NC State
At this
beat
point,
them by the
Georgia's-
same number of points and scored more on them.
At this point, Georgia's schedule includes only, well, at the time it still shows them ranked 3. So I don't know how they really, but right now, so basically, what's Clemson going to be ranked? You think?
25.
think-
So the polls right now have them at 25. I think at the end of the season they'll be in the top 15 if they figure it out. Like best case scenario, but they might lose 5 games this season. The way that they just played, and the fact that Dabo's just stubbornly sticking with DJ, I don't see anything good happening for him.
Here's the problem.
And maybe he really is the only option. Like maybe their backups just aren't even people you put on the field. Like maybe they just can't handle the moment or whatever. But if DJ's the answer for the whole season, it's not. They're gonna lose at least 5 games. It's gonna be terrible. And then they're unranked.
Here's a
They'll be lucky to
problem
make a bowl game.
with Alabama this coming week in playing Ole Miss, an undefeated Ole Miss,
Sorry, I had the wrong screen up.
is that Lane Kiffin now coaches at Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin did coach at Alabama for a spell, and Ole Miss always gives Alabama a fit. It's always a tough game for us to win.
Yeah, but
I don't think we're going to cover.
Saban's coaches don't beat him. Like
You're
literally
right,
never.
They don't.
Hasn't happened a single time.
But how many times have they covered the spread?
I mean, I don't know about that, but they won't
I
cover.
know, that's a joke.
They won't cover. And if you want my way too early prediction, I think that
What's
we
the spread?
let Alabama 14 and a half. We won't cover that. I think we won't beat them by more than 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I don't know.
Honestly, I
We
think
always
that
struggle with Ole Miss.
I think the same top 4 that are in the top 4 right now are basically the top 4 that are going to make it, because I see these 4 teams just winning out,
Well,
and it's
my way too early predictions that I think that Alabama plays Georgia in the national championship and we lose.
Oh, that's
to Georgia.
yeah. I didn't even realize that Penn State had moved up. So yeah, literally the top 4 now is what I see going to the end. Yeah, I don't see anybody beating any of the 4 of them. So you're saying you would are Alabama and Georgia in the same division?
Yes.
Okay, so they won't
So in the
play
playoff
in the
series, they
SEC
wouldn't.
championship.
I mean,
if one gets blown out in the SEC championship, I mean, I could see them trying to make a case, but
If they're both undefeated,
close
at the end,
game.
how do they decide which one of them goes to the SEC championship?
I mean,
they just get a higher ranking.
I just
It could be
like
like
the
1
fact
and
that
4.
humans are in a room talking about this, and it's not some like statistical based computer.
No,
thing.
I'm-
Like, I don't know though. I don't know the specifics.
There's got to be a secondary like measurement, like score. You know what I'm saying? Like a spread, like the number of points you won by or something. There's got to be something.
Yeah,
that
there may be a
determines
there may
after
be a
that.
win.
Yeah, there's a whole thing,
win
strength of schedule. There's a committee that
differential
does
or
it.
whatever. Like
No, I'm not talking about the ranking. I'm talking about for the SEC championship. Like because Alabama and Georgia are in the same division of the SEC, so if they're both undefeated,
No,
they
they're not
obviously-
playing this year though.
No,
is
no,
Georgia
I
in
know.
the East though?
Oh.
Yeah,
Is
if
Georgia
they're,
in the East or the West?
I think they are. I think they're in. I think they're in.
No,
They're in the
they're
East.
not playing
They're
this.
in the
They're
East.
not playing this
So
year.
we're in the West. We're not in the same
Yeah.
division.
No, they're not playing this year.
Okay. All right. Oh, so
They won't
it'll
play
be the
until
two
the
of them.
SEC
We
So that's
all
what
right,
it'll
so
be.
we
It'll
would
be the
play.
two of
We
them
would
in the
play in the
SEC
SEC
championship.
championship, and then we would
Yeah.
probably play again in the playoffs.
Yeah, and at
Yeah,
that
because
point,
unless that game's a blowout, they're both going.
Right.
You know, one of them will drop. 1 or 2 spots, but it won't be.
And
they'll
I
still
say
be in
we
the top
beat
4.
them in the SEC championship, and they beat us in the national championship. I think that's what happens.
I don't know. I don't know. Here's the thing. Given the way that Clemson has played this season, the fact that that was Georgia's best effort against, because like after that game, I was like, okay, that was two Titans going at it. That was the end result, right? Like that honestly felt like two top SEC teams going against each other, like just defense out the fucking every angle,
Yeah.
and the team that got the defensive score is the one that won, right? Like that's it, because that's what it ended up being. But given the way that they've played since, I don't know that really, because what are Georgia's other wins? Who else has Georgia played other than Clemson?
No
UAB.
one really. Let me see. I
No,
think they played
nobody.
Florida.
Nah,
Carolina,
South Carolina,
garbage.
yeah.
Vanderbilt, terrible. So they've played
Clemson,
three.
UAB, South Carolina,
gimmies.
Vandy, and they play
They've
Arkansas
played
this
three
week.
gimmies, and okay,
Yeah.
Arkansas.
They got Arkansas number 8.
Given the fact that Arkansas beat A&M, they're on a high.
They're
so
8.
that'll be the first test,
And then they
and
play
then
Auburn the next
Auburn.
week. Yeah, at
Yeah.
Auburn.
and then they'll blow out
So
Kentucky.
yeah, they got to get through
They'll
this
blow
stretch.
out Georgia.
Yeah, I get it. They look
Mizzou,
good right now because of who they
Tennessee.
beat.
Yeah, the rest
you're
of the
right.
way.
And you're right. Maybe Clemson isn't the foe that we all sought them to be, and Alabama just blows them out.
Yeah.
Maybe, but
Yeah.
right now, I mean, defense is
see.
looking good. Safeties are looking great, from what I watched.
Yeah, no, they're not. I don't think they're a bad team at all. I mean, clearly they're putting up points against these teams. But again, what that's going to look like against Alabama or even Penn State or Oregon in the playoffs, I don't know for sure that they would.
At the very least, they're well coached and they're competent and they can get it, which is good. Let's see what Arkansas can do. Let's see, maybe Arkansas.
That's going to be interesting. That'll be the game of the week next week for sure.
Beat Rice, Texas. I don't know what Gasso is. Who's Gasso? Oh, Georgia State.
Oh, shit.
Is that
Georgia State. Yeah,
Georgia Southern Eagles.
Or Georgia Southern. Okay.
And then Texas A&M, and they're playing Georgia this week, and then Ole Miss next week, and then Auburn. So they got a thick stretch also. So Arkansas, when they play Alabama at the end of the year. I mean, Arkansas, if they win out, they might jump for sure into the top 4. But they got a tough schedule. They need to beat Georgia. Even if they lose to Georgia and then win out, well, they're not going to beat Alabama. I mean, Arkansas, I feel sort of like with their rank at number 8.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if Arkansas beat
really
Georgia and Alabama?
You know what's honestly
ruined both of their seasons and just went for it? That would be
my family
hilarious.
pastor just passed away this past week, and he was a huge Razorbacks fan.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, man, you know what? I'll pull for Arkansas now when
he's
they're not
sending their fucking steam. He's like, all right, I got you. Sending their steam. Do you ever start to say something and then you give up on what you were saying, and then what came out, you're like, that's not acceptable.
All the time.
That's not those words.
Yeah, Arkansas, damn, like Arkansas really is in a bad position here, but
yeah, there's no way. If you make it through that, you deserve the number 1 spot.
If you can, obviously you got to start with Georgia. That's number 1. If you beat Georgia next week, then you're probably vying for the top 4 slot.
Yeah, we'll see. But so next week
a great week, actually.
I said, yeah, I was like, oh, Georgia, Arkansas, that's the game of the week. But Cincinnati, Notre Dame, Ole Miss, Alabama, Baylor and Oklahoma State. There's a bunch of good games.
That Ole Miss Bama game is going to be a lot closer than people are expecting.
I'm not convinced. I haven't been watching Ole Miss this season, so I couldn't really tell you how I feel about them. But I don't know.
But either way,
Alabama just like they they barely the question mark comes from the Florida game, obviously, right? But I don't think they barely beat Florida because Florida's that good. I think they just were having an off day. This season is so weird because like it's not, the world isn't back to normal. You know what I'm saying? These are kids, you know, still, right? Like for the most part. Their life is still in fucking turmoil and everything's still weird as fuck. Like the level that anybody's able to perform at this stage is not their best effort. You know what I'm saying? It couldn't be, right? Like the circumstances are fucked. Like everything's weird. So, you know, nobody's playing their best ball. Nobody this season. This season will be a year that we look back on and we're like, it's better once that was done. Like next season will be a much better season overall. But
hopefully.
Right? Yeah. But I still think Alabama handles.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that we won't win. I think it's going to be a lot closer than the spread showing. Like, just historically, like I said, we do.
But you're saying
we do bad with
Saban's
Ole
going to have
Miss.
an aneurysm on sideline.
And plus, I think that he's just going to be pissed off to play with Lane Kiffin, like against him, because this is rumor that Lane Kiffin fucked Saban's daughter.
No, what?
That's the rumor from
what?
That's the
That's
rumor
a hilarious
from
rumor.
From back when he was there, and why he wasn't allowed to be on the field during that last national championship game when Steve Sarkisian stepped in, was because
Like
Lane
he
Kiffin
just
fucked
like
his daughter.
he just like did he like just fuck her and leave?
I don't know. I don't know, but
Or did he like
this,
try to
this was
pursue a
like
relationship?
I don't know.
I mean,
This
is he
is
married?
like the word around the campfire. Like there was no confirmation of this, but either way, I think that Lane Kiffin is just gonna piss off Nick Saban, and like just by being there, and I mean that has to have some sort of effect. And plus, I mean, he did run the offense for a while. I mean, I don't know that he is played an offensive coordinator. Like he's beat a lot of defensive coordinators and shit, right? But was Kirby Smart? Kirby Smart was defensive coordinator, I think, right? And what was fucking Pruitt that went to Tennessee? Jeremy Pruitt or whatever his name was. I don't think he was offensive coordinator.
So I just looked that shit up, and that's not just like some rumblings in the brush. Like there's legit reporting on Lane Kiffin having fucked Saban's daughter.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And an Alabama booster as well.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So some old lady with some money and Saban's daughter. All right. Okay.
I mean,
so there's fair
There's
enough.
history there.
That's delightful. So no matter what, like it's in Saban's head a little bit, like.
And look, man, roll tide, but it's Ole Miss and fucking Lane Kiffin, the great
Like
Indian
Lane
burial
Kiffin.
ground
All
of
Lane
college
Kiffin's
football.
got to do is look over at him and be like,
Just wink.
"No,
God, it was
so fucking dirty."
doing that
that's
Steve Spurrier
amazing.
throwing the headset.
Yeah.
Him
Okay,
and Steve
stomp
Spurrier
on
can
his
throw a
Clipboard.
headset like nobody else, man.
Clipboard? What the fuck is wrong with me tonight?
Clipboard?
so
What are these
picks.
words?
So
Yeah, let's go move the big boy football.
Dave, you moved up significantly. You got 4. Last week was rough for you. You only got 4, but you got 8.
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
I got
killed
8.
it this week. 8.
Let's see what the overall is. I'm still in last place. I'm so you guys are tied.
You're
for
only
15.
3 behind now instead
only
of
3.
like 10 behind.
I'm 2 behind. 2 behind.
Yeah, you had
my bad, I'm retarded.
monster
It's
week
3.
this week.
My bad. Yeah.
So yeah, I caught up with you. That's how good my week was.
Yeah, monster week.
That's good. The only thing I was upset about was that I forgot that
Worst score, 4 wins.
the spread was what it was. Well, I mean, it wouldn't have been 1 point, but I the Ravens won, and I picked them to win, but they didn't cover the fucking spread because it was like I think it was 3 points, and they won. But holy fuck that kick, man! I know we talked about it already, but holy shit, 66 yards. It was amazing, and like had some lean to it at first, and then came back and
Little dust from the gods.
Yeah, just a little bit of.
Chargers was my lock of the week, baby.
Yeah, you pulled that. That was I did not expect. Here's the thing. I was happy to have lost that because my boy Mike Williams was the reason that I lost that pick, and I'm A-okay with that.
What a
122 yards and 2 fucking touchdowns. He destroyed it. He is one of those people that like he will have an insane career, but like the start of his career was super slow. And like he doesn't necessarily have the respect to his name yet that he really should talent-wise, but he broke his neck in college, and so he missed a season and didn't get drafted as high as he should have based on his talent, and went to a Chargers team where at the time he was the 3rd wide receiver. So he wasn't getting the fucking ball much, but he is fucking playing. I think that's it's either his second game with over 100 yards or it's been all 3 of them, but he's tearing that shit up.
You know, I liked him a lot better when he wasn't playing with Clemson.
His neck was broken. Oh.
Yeah, look at these.
I mean, what are you gonna say to that?
Well, we got a minus 16 alert right here.
What are you gonna say? I wear a Julio jersey, and it's not because he played for Alabama. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck Alabama. But
I just have to do
this. This is beautiful. It's not. It sucks this year that this is the year that we started because like Alabama and Clemson is for the first time not an expected rivalry. But it is fun that we're both doing this. Given our
there might be a 30 for 30 on that little. On that little 3-peat, the Clemson Alabama rivalry, there'd probably be a 30.
Oh, there will be. There has to be. Yes, and the teams that played in those, like that, it has to be, because that was insane. Like,
think about all of the pro players that they'll be interviewing in that 30 for 30 and like
like you mean Hall of Fame players that they'll be fucking interviewing? Yeah, like. Most of both of the teams for all 3 of those seasons. Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, absolutely crazy. Devontae Adams went the fuck off. Definitely got knocked out. We saw him get knocked out. I guess not concussed, but he definitely was.
He was definitely not feeling
good with us. He was not with us for a moment, at least.
Yeah, I know that Devontae and he goes right back out. That was crazy.
Yeah, and it went right back out and then like made the game.
All right, Yonder, you're up to bat first now, and then me, and then Gabe.
All right,
Jacksonville giving up 7.5 on the road against Cincinnati. Cincinnati's touchdown and a half favorite.
Yeah, I'm not. I know the Jaguars just had a pretty good game.
This is a regress game.
I'm not ready to put my faith in them yet. I'm going with the Bengals again in this one.
Yeah, let's take a look here. NFL, we want scores from last week.
But yeah, I'm not quite ready to put all my.
They'll have T. Higgins back this week, so yeah, I would definitely think they'll be better this week than they were last week.
Let's see here. Okay. Turn this fucking sound off. All right. Touchdown, huh? More than a touchdown. You know what? I think the Jags cover. I think they're building some momentum into a covering. All right. Next game is Washington is a 1.5 point favorite at the Falcons.
So I I think I just read that actually T. Higgins is still not in practice. So I'm going to actually pick the Jags to cover that as well.
Taking the Jags?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. For this Washington -1.5 at the Falcons, I'm taking the Falcons here. I think the home team at Washington it has looked good at times, but they still look a little unstable. Falcons, they've looked bad at times, but you know they've lost a couple close ones. I think they'll cover here. I think they'll win the game. I mean, this is essentially picking who you think is going to win the game.
I'm taking the Falcons as well in this one. I'm still not ready to trust a team that doesn't have a name.
Yeah,
I'm picking against the Falcons all season. You're going to see a trend. That's how this is going to go. I don't necessarily think Washington is any better.
Not the Falcons, the Hawks. Excuse me, not the Hawks. The Falcons. My bad. You're right. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, you are.
Falcons.
I don't think. I don't think. Like they won that game last week on a fluke.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't like it wasn't because anything special happened. It's just they happened to kick a field goal at the end and take the lead. So like I don't think they've made any progress or anything like that. And this is just a flip of the coin pick. I'm not picking Washington because I'm like I got faith in that. I just think
I know.
I don't see the Falcons winning 2 games in a row.
Yeah, this game's end up like 21-20. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah, I got Falcons for sure.
All right, I'm taking Falcons here too. Okay. All right, this is a tough one here in my opinion. Texas Rangers at Buffalo -16.5. I love Buffalo, and I know the Texans are just a dumpster fire. But holy shit, how do you bet 16, 2 touchdowns and a field goal to cover?
Yeah, no, I'm with Buffalo for that amount for sure. At least dude. Buffalo's rolling, and the one like everybody's like, ooh, the Texans look good. They don't look good. Jacksonville just looked like garbage. That's all that was. They just lucked out that their first game of the season was against a team that probably will win 2 games this season. So yeah, no, I think Buffalo will win by like 3 touchdowns.
Well, I'm gonna take these points with Houston on this one, fellas. I'll take the
That's a huge. That's massive.
I can't, dude.
I mean, that's massive. I get it. That's the biggest we've seen. 13 was huge,
and there was 13 was huge. That one actually covered.
Yeah.
No. Was that the one that covered? I know. I mean, I know that Tampa Bay ended up covering in the last.
It was, yeah. They beat the brakes off of it.
But without those 2 interceptions in the last 2 minutes of the game, that doesn't happen, and they don't cover. And Browns, I don't remember if they covered their 13 or not, but it was a very close. Or I don't remember if they covered or not. But like, dude, 16 points is just.
It's like hard not to take, but.
Yeah,
right. They probably will blow them out by several touchdowns, but man, I just
got to go with the stats on this one. Yeah, I got to go with the stats on this. Like when I say the stats, I mean like just
the odds. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's fucking nuts, and it's gonna happen. And the crazy thing is, it's probably gonna happen, and I'm not gonna be surprised. But like, yeah, the rational part of me is just like. At that point, almost like even when you're up 10 points, it's like sometimes what's the motivation, or like when you're not trying to, I don't know. Anyway, all right. Or also to like you give up soft touchdowns, junk time. We'll see what happens. Okay. Lions at Chicago. Chicago's a 3-point
my.
favorite. This is the one the Lions win for me. I've quietly won with the Lions against each spread each week. I feel like, and I'm just gonna keep my train going with them.
Okay.
I'm not.
I mean, they haven't been good. Let me see. I'm pulling up their what is their scoring been like? Okay, so the Ravens game was super close. Okay, all right. So
Oof,
the Ravens
that line,
have issues.
That
The
line
Ravens
has
are
gone to plus 6.
incredibly. Yeah, absolutely. That the Ravens have, and I expect it'll move a little more probably before the game. The Lions have not looked really good. Like they got blown out by the Packers. They played an okay game against the 49ers, but I don't think the 49ers are spectacular this season. I don't think so. You know, like I'm not. I know they played the Packers to the wire, but at home and with, you know, the Packers being kind of a question mark. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know if I can trust
I don't know.
I don't know if I can trust the Lions to win at all. You know what I'm saying? That's another one of those teams this season. I'm like, if they win any games,
You're kind of right. They don't really score a lot of points.
They've got rid of almost same situation the Saints were in with Matt Stafford, was where they had to build a team around this guy, and now they're without.
Yeah, he's gone.
I mean, the Bears don't look good. I mean, the Lions at least are putting some points on the board.
No, the Bears do not look good. They do not. What did Justin Fields do this last week?
Yeah, I mean, it's an 0-3 team versus a 1-2 team. So I mean,
yeah, exactly. Which is why the line is so close, because it's basically a coin flip either way.
But yeah, I mean, the Sharps are saying that Detroit is. They're saying Chicago 6 now. You have to bet. You have to take 6 points now.
Well, this is only giving us 3, so I'm fine with that. Yeah. But I'll take them at 3 for sure.
-3, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Justin Fields threw for 68 yards.
Boy, he's got something to prove this week, doesn't he?
68 fucking yards. That's it. That's all he could get the whole game.
Got something to prove this week.
All right. This is a big game next week.
This is game, a big game. I'm torn.
I know. It's a big game.
Man, Carolina. I want to believe in the Panthers right now. But, man, the Cowboys look good. And they must look good because I just said that. You know, like, you don't want to give them credit.
Philadelphia was looking pretty good this season, and they handled them. I think, and obviously they played a really, really good game against Tampa. I think.
I want to take Carolina here because they've done well over the first few weeks, but I think they lose this game and drop a game at Dallas. This could be one of those games where they lose by a touchdown, so you might want to pick them at -4. But
I gotta take the Cowboys here at home. As much as I love the Panthers.
A lot of momentum right now for Cowboys, and they're like a legit offense. So Carolina they've played some good teams, but not really. I mean, not really. They play the Jets, the Saints, and Texans.
I was gonna say no. They've played terrible teams, haven't they?
But they've beaten them decisively.
I mean,
it's been 3 games. I get it.
They've beat them good.
They beat the Jets by 5 points.
Yeah, that's the first game of the season though, and then they put 26-7 and then 24-9. You know, against two whatever teams. Saints
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah, I mean, yeah. You know, I don't. Yeah, you do as good as you can do.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. This is the thing is this is the game where we find out.
Yeah.
This is where we find out for both of
Exactly.
those
I was
teams.
literally exactly going to say that.
Well,
Yeah,
Was
where
I was
they're
like, this is
going.
going to be a big game for Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
A,
Yeah,
a-
whoever
a
wins this game,
momentum shift.
is gonna feel the difference the rest of the season.
Well,
To
I'm
look
going,
back and be like,
I'm
we
gonna-
should have won that game.
I'm gonna go with the boys on this one.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Colts at Miami. Miami's getting 2 points. So they're saying on a neutral site, Indy might be favored by a point. Let's see what Miami's done. Miami's been a little
Yeah,
washy.
Well,
They lost to the Raiders in a close one.
but yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They had a couple close losses, right? Didn't they lose 2 games pretty close so far?
Yeah, and they came back on. I mean, they took the lead on the Raiders, and then
Um,
they lost the lead, and they came back. So they showed some resilience, which is good.
and the Raiders are much better than the Colts.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to take the Dolphins in this one, just on principle.
Yeah, it's a close line. I'm taking Dolphins as well though.
Okay.
I think the Colts are they're like a
Wandering in the
fucking
dark.
fawn on new legs. You know what I'm saying? Like they might
Yeah.
get a couple steps in a row, but it's gonna be wobbly the whole way.
Yeah, we can let Dave take the Colts so he can try to get 1 point up on us if something
Yeah.
happens.
Well, I'm looking at the scores here. All right, I'll go with the Colts here. I think it's a decent pick. 2 points. That means they could win. They could win. Yeah, they could win or lose by a touchdown, and I'd still do okay. So I think I'm good with that.
Word.
Because they don't. It's going to dumpster fire match. All right. -2.5. The Browns are getting at the Vikings. Now the Vikings have moved the ball definitely, but their defense does not look like it can stop anything.
Yeah. Dude, I'm going to be honest. I was upset because I was like, what do the Browns do every time we have a little confidence in them? And they disappoint us, and I think that they proved me wrong, so I got to take them this week.
Yeah, I would agree with you if it wasn't for the terrible team that they proved it against. I'm actually taking the Vikings on this one. I think the Browns are due for that dip, and also like I said, I don't think.
See, you're saying now what I was saying last week. Like, fuck, you know what they do?
Yeah. I mean,
I think I'm still gonna go with them though, because that was my gut instinct.
Yeah.
2.5 fucking pisses me off. I'm so torn here. I don't even know.
I'm all out of faith. This is how I feel.
This is like, well, let's see here. Who's okay? Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go. Is this gonna be a shootout? Is what I think. If it's not gonna be a shootout, I think Minnesota's gonna win. And I don't see it being a shootout here for some reason. I don't know. I'm going with Vikings here. Yeah. I'm going Vikings here.
OKB, OBKB. So
Probably a bad bet, but I'm gonna go here. Yeah, I don't believe in that bet, but I don't know. I just feel like. Oh, thank you.
You're good. You know, you pick with your heart. You know.
All right. New York has 8 points. at the Saints. Boy, has New York looked bad.
I would take the Saints. If
Yeah,
they were
it's so
getting
bad that they
16
lost to the
points.
Falcons.
I am going to take the Saints as well, but I do want to look at their scores here.
Look, it doesn't matter. I don't need to. If they were getting 20, I'd take them.
Yeah, the fucking Giants look terrible.
Dude, imagine losing a coach and a quarterback in that amount of time.
Yeah.
And a receiver. Number one receiver, number one quarterback, and a coach all in the same fucking. Imagine losing all of that in a span of 2 years?
Yeah.
Since the Packers game, the Saints have not looked great. They beat the Patriots, but the Patriots are garbage.
I think the Patriots could beat the Giants.
They beat the Packers really well, but obviously we've talked about what that game was with Aaron Rodgers. 8 points is a lot to give the Saints.
Isn't Bridgewater out? Or is Bridgewater at thing now? He's in Denver, isn't he? Who's their quarterback
he's
right
somewhere
now?
else.
And he got injured
James
in
Winston.
Denver. Oh yeah, James Winston. That's right.
But maybe he has another crazy game like he did against the. I don't know, man. I'm picking New York not to win. I'm just picking against that 8 points.
What I always fear about these stupid fucking games, these type of games, is that like they always end up like 20 somehow. In the end, they always end up like 28-33 somehow, or 28-34 or some bullshit, 27-34, and like. It's not really indicative of how the game actually went because they got blown out. They got a couple points at the end. All right, I'm taking Saints cover. I don't know. See what's the lines at now.
Yeah, I just
it moved down. It moved down a little bit. There's a little bit of money on the Giants, which I think is bullshit.
Yeah, I can't trust the Giants.
Tennessee 8 points at the Jets. For me, that's easy.
I'll give them that.
I think Tennessee's a much better team.
I don't even think we can lost this.
Yeah, I think they might win by 20.
Dude, yeah,
everything looks good on that
same
team.
Thing
Defense looks good.
Derrick Henry's going to rush for 1,000 yards, and there's nothing they can do to stop him.
No, nothing the Jets can do for sure.
Nothing they can do will stop him.
Nothing really anybody can do, but definitely not the Jets.
All right.
Man, this one's tough because I couldn't see Kansas City losing 3 games in a row, but they're clearly struggling. So maybe.
Yeah, for me,
3 games in a row. Shit.
It would be, yeah. If they lost,
for me here, I don't know that they'll lose, but I don't. Like you said, they've been struggling, and
a lot. And Philly was doing really well, and
I don't know if they're doing really well.
But either way, all they have to do is lose by less than a touchdown, and I don't know that they can't do that. So I am gonna pick the Eagles in this one, which I think I have.
No, the Eagles weren't doing really well. That's my bad. They blew out the Falcons. That was that
first.
Yeah, they had that first game.
Yeah, but they had a close game against the 49ers. They got beat by Cowboys last night. But and it's a short week for them. Short week for them. I'm gonna say here for me. See, this is a retarded one because it's 7 points. So it's like. Even if you win by a touchdown, you still lose. So, but I'm gonna go with the Chiefs here.
Yeah,
I think Chiefs bounce back this win. Eagles are not as good as they think they are, and I think their defense is decent, but their offense is whatever. And I just don't see them really holding up against KC's offense.
I don't see them. So KC's problem has been turnovers, which I don't necessarily believe is going away. Because you're right, the Philly defense is pretty good, but I don't see their offense making any something out of those turnovers.
Yeah, I don't see him really
I don't think
putting
it'll.
pressure on.
Yeah, I don't think it'll cost them anything. Yeah,
But they,
Alright.
I mean, we've seen earlier this year. If you can get pressure on Mahomes, he's pretty average.
I'm
Just
gonna
like every
Yeah,
quarterback.
I'm gonna stick with that. The Eagles on this one with
Yeah,
getting the
it.
touchdown.
Look at this sneaky line right here. This is a sneaker Rooski. 4.5 at the Rams. 4.5 only. I gotta go Rams here. I
I'll
mean,
give
the
them
line is
those
too,
4.5.
the line is too tempting, but that shit scares the fuck out of me because Vegas.
Yeah, because they
knows
might
what's
just
up.
win by a fucking field goal.
Yeah, because like tennis. I mean, Arizona
definitely
always
gonna
plays
win.
hard. It's a divisional.
Yeah,
game.
Arizona's a great team too. Like
They're
they're
explosive. They can score.
defense and offense. They're gonna hang, but
Like after a really
now
big win
I'm
against Tampa
talking
Bay,
myself out of it.
big win against Tampa Bay. Maybe you have a little bit of a hangover, and I can see that happening. But I got to go with the numbers here.
Yeah.
And the line now is the line's at -6. So
Oh shit.
the betting public
It's
agrees.
gone up.
But I mean, there's a reason. I'm sure why. Maybe there's some injuries or something.
Maybe. Oh yeah, hold
What do
on.
you
I was
think,
just looking that
Bob
up. DeAndre Hopkins might have been.
What do you think, Yonder?
Yeah, I don't mind. Everybody else has said it. I mean, they look like one of the best teams in football, right? They shouldn't have a problem scoring by more than that, right?
Okay, so Hopkins was not injured, and they're gonna lean into him. I don't know. This is tricky. I could see Arizona shocking this line and like being the one loss that LA has this season.
Well, yeah, and I honestly don't know, man.
I'm picking the Cardinals.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna go Rams, but
I'm going Rams.
Hey, so did you guys hear that,
You
Josh?
convinced me with the Matt Stafford talk last week, maybe.
Oh, I have no change to that at all. They're going to the Super Bowl for sure, but I think they're going to win or lose one game, and I think this might be the one.
I mean, they'll probably lose a couple games. It's a 17-week season.
Yeah,
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's fucking crazy.
Look, I was looking at games to go to. We might go to a fucking. I wanted to go to a Vegas game, but the cheapest tickets for the last game of the season, all the way in the upper deck, are over $200 a ticket. So we're
I was
not
looking.
going- we're not.
I was
going
looking to
a
see if the
Vegas game.
Texans were playing when we're going to be in Houston, but they're not playing that weekend. They're playing away.
But it's weird as fuck to look at the last game of the season is like the second week of January.
January.
So, did you guys hear that Josh Gordon is on the Chiefs now? Remember
Yeah,
Josh
that
Gordon
was
from the Browns.
Yeah, they just picked him up, didn't they?
Yeah, he's like finished his suspension.
Interesting.
I mean, does that change anything up here? I think I still.
I mean, he might give him some more horses. But they obviously think they need him, wide receiver. They maybe they feel like Tyreek Hill needs some
help.
Some
help
distraction on the other side. Yeah.
Like
A blunt.
like Kelsey. Kelsey needs to be
What?
blocking more, maybe.
Yeah, I should. I got a lot of haters.
Yeah, you do, doggy.
Yep.
All right, so this one right here, Seattle against San Francisco. I like Seattle here. I think that Russell Wilson has a comeback game. He's always pretty good on the road. He covers a lot on the road very often. And I think they come out and just kind of beat down a San Francisco team that had a few, it feels like a few injuries last week.
Yeah.
They're injured at running back at least, for sure.
Yeah. And just like a total momentum killer, that loss last week too. Oh. Yep.
And,
yeah, I'm with you on that one.
But they don't look bad. They don't look bad by any means.
No.
Yeah,
I'm go on.
Yeah, I'm not taking anything away from them. I'm gonna give this to Seattle.
Yeah, for me right here, it's a quarterback matchup.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Baltimore at Broncos. This feels like a sneaky win for the Broncos at home. I don't know why.
Yeah,
Baltimore's had some really. Baltimore has been so dynamic, and like the highs and lows have been so crazy that I feel like a game like this is like a decisive loss for them. It's like just too much wear and tear, and Broncos with that fucking defense coming back and Von Miller looking like a beast again, dude. Holy shit. See what happens when you take a whole year off, plus from after being a fucking battling hammer for how many years? Take a whole year off and you're fucking looking nice and fresh, and Denver's defense looks great, and at home I love them, so I'm going to take that -1.
I'm going with the Ravens here, man. I was just really impressed with how much time QB gets in the pocket to make decisions I don't know, they look good to me. And I don't know. This is literally because of the spread. It's a coin flip, obviously, but I'm taking them. I'm taking the Ravens for sure in this one.
Yeah, I'm taking the Ravens as well. All
right. Steelers at Green Bay. Green Bay gets 1 touchdown. Because it's 6.5, I'm taking Green Bay. If it was anything more, I might be considering taking the Steelers because Aaron Rodgers typically, after big games like that, maybe sometimes has a regression. But I'm taking Green Bay here. They look good. They can move the ball.
Yeah, they looked real good. I mean, he looked really good, and yeah, they moved the ball. Yeah, I think this is going to end up being a close game, though. I think it might be a 4-point game. I'm picking the Steelers on this one.
It's a cover. If Aaron Rodgers looks like he wanted to show us that he could flip the switch when he feels like it.
Hmm? Yeah, and Steelers they had that really. It essentially feels like the Steelers had one really good quarter of football, and we're just kind of still all right if they can stay like that. But they've been injured, and they're just that offensive line can't do anything. Not that the Green Bay's defense is any good, but this next one is nutso. I mean, how does Tommy touchdowns not come into Tampa Bay? I mean, come into New England and just fucking eviscerate
and beat them by 3 touchdowns. Oh yeah, I don't think the Patriots are good, and I do think the Tampa Bay is.
Yeah.
So
even with the emotions involved, I don't see them.
Yeah, I see Tampa Bay winning by 2+ touchdowns, maybe 2 touchdowns and a field goal.
Unless Bill Belichick just knows Tom Brady's brain back and forth and just knows what he's gonna do. And
honestly, it'll probably be way easier for Tom Brady to unravel the Belichick defense.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, he practiced against that fucking team for however many years. So,
but
I'm probably decimated.
I mean, this is gonna be. This feels like it's gonna be a. This feels like it's gonna be like a 35-12 game.
Yeah, like a solid blowout. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm.
Is that?
I'm with that.
Oh, that's the Sunday night game. Yeah.
And then Monday
night game. So yeah, we'll call that game for sure.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Wow, and then
they-
Monday night, Raiders at the Chargers.
Oh, that's
The
gonna be
Raiders
such a
getting
good game.
Raiders coming back to
I'm-
LA. Oh man,
I think it's just gonna be
Chargers look
closer.
good.
I don't know that I could call either one of them because both of those teams have crazy momentum coming into this game. So I don't I don't know who I would call the winner. I just think it'll be closer than 3.5. I think it'll be a 1-point game or 2-point game, something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe or a field goal, but either way.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take the Chargers in this game. Just they're like at home, and
Yeah, and they just beat the Chiefs. Like, yeah, they're riding high. They barely lost to the Cowboys, right? So, they're rolling for sure.
yeah, I'm gonna take that.
Well, I'm gonna go Raiders here because it's 3.5. Also, I mean, I think Raiders can come within a touchdown of the game. It's always a really close when they play, so I'm just gonna go Raiders here because I don't
What's
know.
the line now?
3.5, and it's gone down to 3. So there's a
Okay.
little bit of money coming in on
Mhm.
Raiders.
Yep.
And then next week's Thursday night game is the Rams at Seattle. Rams at -1 early line. All right, and then the score total points for this one probably 23-26. So that's what 50 points again, essentially 49 points. Just put 50. Save.
Yeah.
All right, my picks are
low
in.
Scoring on that as always.
Picks
Picks
are
are
in.
in.
I got a lot of bad teams as my picks. I'll tell you right now.
Picks is in.
Well, my list looks good to me
Um,
now. Like they're all lit up, and pretty.
Yeah.
Now next week there'll be a couple of them that are opaque.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah,
Sad
there'll be
day.
hopefully not. Hopefully, more often than not, they will be clear and not opaque.
Yeah.
UFC event on Saturday night.
Yeah, y'all were talking about that the other night, man. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I saw
Holy
the
shit!
replay on the Sports Center, man.
Yeah, that was that title fight was the Shevchenko won handily. I mean, which she was going to. She's a fucking monster, but the fucking main event, the main event, 'cause it was like
Ortega,
3
Volkanovski,
main. Yeah, that
and
that
then
fight
Diaz
was crazy. Like
sat him down.
all 3 of those insanely good submissions that he got out of were all 3 of those moments. I was like, oh, he's going to not just like he's going to tap, like he's out, like he's going out. He has to, there's no way he's got oxygen. And all 3 of them, he was like, fuck you. You're not tapping me, bitch. And Brian Ortega, like that's his thing. Like he's a jiu-jitsu guy. I think he's a Gracie guy. So that's a crazy fucking win for him. And then Ortega looked like he was done, and then came back and he lost the match, but he won the 5th round. Like he came back and fucking out of nowhere was just coming at him again. That was a crazy fight. It was good. It was real good. It's been a while since there's been a fight that good for a title. So probably since the Namajunas and Z, what's her last name? Shit. It was But Rose Namajunas won the title back in that fight. That was an incredible fight too. But yeah, fucking UFC, man. What's the next? What's the card? The next one? Yeah, and when we talked about the sadness of Nick Diaz quitting.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna do? What's the next card?
I don't even know. Let me see. Let's take a look here. Thiago Santos versus Johnny Walker. That's a fight night. And then another fight night, Dern versus Rodriguez. I like Mackenzie Dern. And then another fight night, Holly Holmes versus Norma Dumont. And then another fight night. Oh, Paulo Costa, though, versus Marvin Vittori. So Paulo Costa is fighting, but it's not really like a big fight for him. And then UFC 256.
Well, yeah, I mean that'll determine which one of them gets, the eventual next title shot again.
And then we have one on October 30th. That's really the next big fight. And that really only has Blachowski versus Teixeira and Peter Yan versus Aljamain Sterling.
That's gonna be so.
It's gonna be a good fight, but there's no other cards.
Yeah,
really.
the Aljamain Sterling Piotr Yan fight that'll be the fight of the night. It's weird that one's not the top build because Sterling won that fight because Yan hit him with a illegal strike and Sterling refused to continue, and in that case they disqualify the other guy and he got the belt. So like he didn't win the belt at all, but he's the belt holder on a technicality, and Yan is going to come in there and fuck him up. That's going to be a good fight. So I don't know why that's not top build. That feels like the better story because like Teixeira coming in, this is like the battle of the not John Jones. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's all of the guys that he's beat handily. Like, oh, now we get a belt. Now the daddy's gone. You know what I'm saying? So like, it doesn't feel like it. And Teixeira is like, he's a few years removed from his most relevant fighting time. So like, I don't know. I don't know if that fight is going to be. It might be a good fight. Maybe they'll prove me wrong, but I just feel like that fight doesn't matter as much as the other one. Magomed, one of fucking Habib's guys.
Yeah.
I don't know the Volkan Ozdemir or Ozdemir. I don't know that guy.
Ozdemir, he's good. Where do you see his name?
He's on the next fight down.
Are you looking? Where are you looking? Let me see. On which card?
October 30th card.
Oh, okay.
He's just the third
On the prelims.
on the
Magomed. Okay, and then Volkan Ozdemir, yeah. And then Volkanov. Okay. Some nice. Good shit. All right. We good? I gotta take off.
Yeah, the Bravos beat the Phillies tonight, and we have a 3.5 game lead. I think we win tomorrow night, and we will clinch the playoffs. Your Dodgers were playing just a minute ago against the.
Yeah, did that game end?
I don't know. I had it on. Yeah, it did end because it says Sports Center now. Well, maybe not though. But yeah, your Dodgers are obviously in. The only question marks now are
Dodgers won.
I think
the only question marks now are us and the Astros that have to win another game before we can make it in, but everything else is pretty much set. So yeah, and the the wild card. I think the Yankees are 2 games ahead in that. So they'll probably just edge out.
Yeah,
the Red
so
Sox.
the American League East might end up with 3 teams in the fucking play because they might have both of the fucking wild card teams.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's baseball is about to be in the thick of it. So I may be doing some random baseball episodes when we get closer into the playoffs and whatnot. Call a baseball game or two.
Yeah, I'd be down to call like a playoff game. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, good shit. Y'all,
Good night.
you see our social media is up there. Go and follow us and subscribe
Appreciate
to the channel if you want. We do appreciate you. So yeah, be good people. Bye.
Bye.